Hey everybody, it's Dave Clayton, and I have been admiring this fella for seems like years. This is Klimak stained glass, and this is Kurt. He creates the stained glass that so many of you admire and love, and so many of you have in your homes. He's right here in Murrells Inlet, and you can find his work at the Pawleys Island General Store. And he's so graciously let me come and just kind of watch him today and check him out and also interview him, asking some questions about his inspiration. So come with me along as we go into the shop of the man, Kurt Klimak. Kurt, this shop, no one could have prepared me for what I have here. It's almost like being in Santa's, what do you call that?
Santa's workshop.
Yeah, it's like Santa's workshop.
It's a great place to spend time if you love what you do. You know, it's a tough breaking glass story here. There we go.
How did you get to love what you do here? How did you get involved with this glass art?
I got involved with it basically in high school for starters, which was a long time ago. But then I dropped it for a bunch of years, just thought it was something fun I'd try. Then I did some glass blowing and pottery work. And in my later years, I got back involved with the glass just because it was a hobby that I really enjoyed. And then it started to sell on the side too. So I ended up making it more of pretty much a full-time career now that we're down here at beautiful Pawleys Island. I love the colors. I love the textures. I love creating. That stems from my my profession when I was a landscape designer up north, and always designing really beautiful gardens and landscapes. And basically, this is just another way to express yourself and, you know, work with glass and make some really nice things.
Sure. What are you working on right now?
These are a new Christmas panel I was putting together for Pawleys General Store. These are going to be just a really neat, festive abstract Christmas panel. All the confetti glass and last pressed gems, textured clears, iridescence. They're really, really pretty for the holidays, along with our Christmas ornaments and everything else that I make. So, and
Can you show us the ornaments real quick so I can?
yeah, so some of them are right here. These are some in the works, and I've already cut and ground on the diamond cutting wheel. These are the patchwork stars that I make a lot of. These are really big sellers on my Etsy page. And these are some new chroma coat poly shells that I'm working on too, I have a lot of Christmas colors on those also.
So is that like sparkle? Is that what that chroma coat? What is that?
Oh, it's actually mirror. It's a mirror backing, but it's on a textured clear glass, so it gives it a wave look. So it's really, and this blue is just this blue is just killer. I love the blue. You know, this is basically what a sheet of it looks like. And it just really catches that color. But on the backside, it's not translucent, so you won't be able to see through it. But it just is something really nice. If it was going on a Christmas tree, it would really catch the light and vibrate back off it. A lot of this stuff is down at Volley still too. The candy canes, Christmas trees I do with beading on them. I don't have any of those right here right now, but those are all at Pawleys right now, and you can see them on my Facebook page, my Etsy shop, or in person at the Pawleys General Store. That's the only store I sell it.
So what are you most proud of in your shop right this minute? Because I'm seeing things all over the windows and everything.
Those two windows there are my favorites and ones I kept. The really colorful one is a Tiffany style with the copper foil on it and lots of plastic medallions. There's two different styles of doing stained glass. And that one I kept for myself just because I really love the colors, and started out as just a Victorian panel, and then I added framing I drew myself. The one on the left is a traditional leaded with lead cane, the regular Victorian design. And that's all done with English muffle glass, and you know, that's just channeled lead that you fit together and fit the glass into and then solder the seams on it.
Sure.
Yeah.
So what's the first step in creating this is show us what that looks like.
Well, the first step really is drawing a design. So this design is one that I came up with. It's simple, it's basic. I use it for garden stakes. I use it for these new panels I'm doing. I have a couple other designs also. I have loads of drawings that I've worked with over the years. Couple that are going out as commissions. So the first step is drawing, then cutting the glass, which I was just doing here. When you actually fit it on, get it in those lines. There's a couple different ways. And you score it and you break it. Doesn't always break the way you want it to, depending on the glass. A lot of glass cuts differently. Red is traditionally a harder color to cut. And then you use the curves, breaking pliers. That breaks that little circle off. It fits right in here. So and eventually these will all get ground down. I'll show you on the diamond grinding wheel. We'll put a glass medallion. These are great. These come from Germany. These are all pressed. Beautiful. Throw light like crazy. Really, really pretty. Come in every color. I use a lot of them. They'll go in the center. And then eventually I'll cut some greens. I'll take a piece of green and just mix up the colors, line it up with my lines. Some light pressure is all you need to score the glass. And I'll even cut my second line. Just connect it there. And that's it.
Do you ever get cut?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Lots of times. I've been cut many times. I actually cut my finger on my little mini chop saw that I use for the zinc framing, and that actually did some damage to my finger. But yeah, you get stuck all the time. It's part of it. So blood and sweat and tears go into these pieces.
That's great.
Okay. Then when you're grinding, let me grab some. These are poly shells that are in the works. Some of these have been ground. Some of these have been foiled. The solder sticks to the foil. Then I'll wrap them with lead cane after to make a finished edge on them. But if to take a piece like this, these ones have not been ground yet. These are going to be polyxylene night lights.
And the glass is pretty durable, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, certain kinds is. I mean, if you drop it, then it's going to break. So this is my diamond grinding wheel. So safety first, because it does throw a few little shards. It's got water in it to lubricate the glass. Then you take off all your rough edges. It's a little safer to work with. They do make finger guards, but I just grow my fingernails long and had big notches in them, so it's easier to work for me. Because the edges are sharp. Leaves to fall down. Wipe it off. Then you've got a nice soft edge that your foil will stick to when you wrap that copper foil tape around. And you just do that with each piece so you get them all to fit together and create your piece.
That's beautiful. That's neat.
Then once you do that, and you go to your foil set, which is basically, this is your copper foil tape. This is a Tiffany method now too.
Now, what does that mean, Tiffany method?
Tiffany was a glass maker back in the early 19th century, and they did a lot of lamps, really high-end glass work, but they didn't so much use the lead cane method. They used this copper foil. This is easier to use on finer pieces that involve a lot of pieces, because it's really hard to work lead work into really tight joints and small ones, because it's a bigger gap that hides a lot of it. So the copper foil actually is a great way to go with smaller pieces. Then you just apply a chemical to it, a flux, and the solder will go right here on the line, sticks right to that. Then when you get the whole thing soldered, you flip it over and do the back side too. So that's basically the way it goes. But then you just line this up. Try to get it in the middle as best as possible. They make machines for this too, but I don't like to use machines if I don't have to. I like to keep it all done by hand. This goes all the way around.
Is it sticky?
It is. It's tape on one side, and it comes in silver backed, black, and copper. depending on how you're going to finish your piece, what the patina is going to be on your solder line. Because you can make them look like copper. You can make them black, like that one's got black lines that I treated with a chemical on it. It makes the glass pop a little more, the colors of the glass. And some of them I just keep natural silver, especially the holiday stuff for that. Then you just put that on like that. You burnish it where you rub it on. Really get that tape to stick. Make sure it's got, and then when the heat gets on there, it'll soften it up even more and make it stick more to the glass. Like that.
That's cool. Over your control side.
Then your next step is soldering. So here's my soldering iron. I sponge a little wet on there for cleaning off the tip. And so here's a poly shell that's ready to go. So what I want to do is tack it all together. Take a little bit of my flux. Put it on there. This makes the solder flow. Let's take my soldering iron and off a little bit. Sure, these are about where I want them. Use a 6040 lead and tin. Tack them together. And I'll get some on the edges.
So it's changing the color.
Well, yeah, the solder will stick to anything that's copper. So that's where it all sticks together. It goes to the copper, doesn't stick to the glass. A little bit on the edge.
Now, what's the metal thing doing? Grounding it?
No, I'm just holding it in place.
Okay.
This is just putting pressure on it because otherwise it's going to wiggle.
I thought you were preventing electricity.
So wait, got that advanced. So then you flip it over.
That's really cool.
We do the same with that, but then we wrap it. So this is a part not a lot of people do when they're making stained glass because it's an added step. And I like to do it because I really like pieces to look finished. You can leave it and beat up your edge. I just don't think that looks very finished to me. So if you'll notice, a lot of my smaller work down at Paulie's will be wrapped in lead cane to give it a real clean finished edge. And the way to do that, this is Haducane. It's a thin lead and it's one side, so it's got a really nice finished edge. Cut about 10 inches of that. What I'll do is I'll take my shell, which is a little hot from the soldering. Put that on there. Ooh, it's hot, it's hot. A little bit of the flux. Tap that. Get it to stick on one part of it. Then I'll take and I'll wrap this around the edge. Use my trusty screwdriver. And I'll work that lead cane into each of the grooves of the poly shell. So, all the way around.
That's really neat.
Yeah, well, I used to make them without doing this. And I mean, it was fine, everybody liked them. But then when I started doing this, it just, to me, was so much more of a finished product. Even for something small like this, I'd rather have it be finished. Tap that down a little more flux. A little dab of solder. And then finish that off. Just tap, make sure I got all my curves and that's nice and flat around the edge. Then the last step, it's really the finishing part, and I actually just was at a church in Paulie's showing people how to do this last week for a friend of mine. We'll take and very easily, carefully run a little bit on here so it connects to that foil that's on the outside edge of those pieces. And we'll make our solder lines a little finer. Smooth them all out. And that creates those ridges everybody loves in those Pawleys Island shows.
It's a lot of work.
It is, but you know what? When it's something you love doing, it's really not. I can sit up here all day and make these and be happy as can be.
Why do you love it?
I think to me, it's the process. It's not only about the color and actually doing the design work. It's like the whole process to me is very relaxing. It's like from start to finish, it's enjoyable to me. I like, and we were born with hands. We're made to create. So I think everybody should really try to create something in their lives, no matter what it is. You know, there's no good art or bad art. Just do it and enjoy it. That's what I told the people I was working with the other day. Just my way may not be everybody's way. Improve on it and do whatever you want to make it your own. That's how I look at it. So, but then that's the finish. That'll be the finished product when I go all the way around that, and then it'll be nice and clean edge. It'll be strong as can be because these are almost like what's called a hinge joint. In stained glass, if you have a joint that goes right across the piece, it's going to want to bend like that. So they call it a hinge joint. So this actually adds a lot of strength around the edge too. So this, I could drop this. This will always be fine.